I'm Steve. This is Classified Captures, and have we got an episode for you, so don't go anywhere. Now we got a man who's fishing by the side of the river when a hand and a head comes up out of the water, grabs his rod, and he freaks out and runs away. Okay. Now, that's either incredibly well done AI with the splashes and the whole 9 yards, or there's a guy who was just willing to get into the river with what looked like some kind of a suit on and just grab the rod, because that didn't look like skin. Did it? Or did it look like skin to you? To me, that looked like some kind of a suit, like to keep out the cold or something like that. I personally just think these are two guys who are trying to get their 5 minutes of fame on the internet. Now we got a flying saucer. Not sure where this was filmed exactly, but it looks like a flying saucer flying through clouds in a square formation. Oh, wow. It's not even through the clouds, it's like below. Now, what makes me believe this is not faked is the fact that there's too many people around, all holding up their phones at the same time, unless they did some kind of a flash mob kind of effect, got everybody to do it at the same time. But then you run the risk of someone blabbing, someone telling that was fake. So there's something going on here. And it's relatively clear. This video is relatively clear. This looks like a typical phone video taken at night. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'd love to know where this was taken. Was anybody there that night? Does anybody recognize the building? Can anyone tell us where this was? Let us know in the comments. A woman in Washington shared a video she recorded on the 25th of February. It was late at night when she noticed a strange light hanging in the sky. As she zooms in, the object appears bright with a bluish glow. But then something else begins to stand out. Around the central light, you can see smaller multicolored lights. They appear connected, almost as if they're part of the same object. And the way it moves makes the sight even more interesting. The object travels steadily across the sky until it eventually fades from view. And based on the movement alone, some viewers argue it's too steady to be a typical airplane. Others say it's the size of clarity that makes it unlikely to be a commercial drone, especially from that distance. But when you focus on the shape, there's no clear outline that resembles a plane or helicopter. Because of that, many believe it's a UFO, and from the very beginning of the footage when that bright blue light first appears, some say it almost looks like something emerging from a portal. Looking at it closely, what do you think was hovering over Washington that night? Now, have we got an old and ancient ship sailing itself around Antarctica or around that particular region? Well, these people think they managed to film it. Wow. Okay, I gotta say that's kind of interesting, right? I mean, we do have frigates and, ships that look like that these days, but by Antarctica, risking itself with those icebergs, it's a bit of a weird place to have a ship like that, right? Could that possibly be a ghost ship? It looks a little too solid and real to me, but, been abandoned and has just been lucky enough to float around. What do you think? You tell me. This next video comes from Mexico and was recorded on February the 20th by a man named Ricky Ortiz. He lives near the mountains, and from his home he zoomed in on something standing at the foot of the mountain along trees and tall plants. When you look closely, you can make out what appears to be a shoulder and a head. The lower half looks dark, almost like it's covered by a cloak or some kind of long garment, but the head is what has people talking. It looks long and extremely pale, almost too pale to look human. The footage is blurry because of the zoom, so the details are not clear, but even with the limited clarity, the outline has many viewers saying it resembles some kind of alien being. With how often strange figures seem to appear in videos lately, some people are starting to wonder if something bigger is going on. Is this just shadows and distance playing tricks on our eyes, or could there be something else out there that we're only now beginning to notice? Take a look at it yourself. Does that figure look human to you?
Enfrente de mí estaba una criatura demasiado horrible. Es decir, estamos hablando del mismísimo Momo.
An angry gray alien. Something jumping out at the man, and he tries to wrestle it to the ground. Okay. I mean, that made me jump, but it's as fake as it comes. Come on, you can tell a mile away by the skin on that thing, by the way it moves and everything, that's just AI-generated footage, or even CGI. It's that bad, it could easily be CGI. Very, very well done CGI, but CGI nonetheless. Okay, we got a Bigfoot sighting. Yes, I love our Bigfoot sightings. This is supposedly filmed in Russia, by the way.
Давайте, пожалуйста, позвоним кому-нибудь ментам или кому-нибудь честно звонить. Позвони, набирай.
It's kind of hard to see, right? I mean, could that be a bear? They have bears in Russia. If it's Bigfoot, it's crawling along the ground. Why would it be doing that? They're usually upright. Even if they're hiding, they're upright. And once again, the footage is very atypical of the kind of, person filming who's trying to hide something. So all these things tell me that this is fake.
Посигнали муж, чтобы он сюда пошел. Да как не посигнали, можно он сам сидит по измене. Что это? Надо узнать. Давайте, пожалуйста, позвоним кому-нибудь ментам или кому-нибудь честно звонить. Позвони, набирай.
A lot of people love thrifting and antiquing, finding something old and rare to decorate their homes. A couple decided to check out a new thrift store, searching for antique paintings to add to their collection. And while they were browsing, the store owner called them over and showed them a painting that they kept in their basement. At first, the couple wasn't interested, but the owner insisted, and eventually they gave in and bought it. That is, when things started to change. Once the painting was hung in their home, it wouldn't stay up. It kept falling over and over, and the frame even started breaking. They finally secured it tightly to the wall. Then something strange happened. A wall plug directly below the painting came out of the wall on its own. After that, the activity escalated. One day, the room where the painting hung was filled with a strange mist. The wallpaper began peeling off, voices and knocking started echoing through the house, things that had never happened before the painting arrived. To be fair, if the painting was haunted, maybe the entity is not happy with the wallpaper, which is not very flattering. Skeptics say it's just a coincidence or that the house needs maintenance, but the other couple believes everything began with the painting. When you see it all laid out, what do you think really started happening in that house? Humans get so caught up in our own world that we often forget how fascinating the animal kingdom really is. Take a look at this clip. At first, it almost looks edited or AI generated, but I promise you it's not. You're watching two turtles facing each other. The one on the right stretches out its front leg and begins waving them rapidly in front of the other turtle's face. The claws vibrate back and forth in a strange, almost mechanical motion. It looks unreal. But this behavior has a name. It's called claw fluttering. In many freshwater turtle species, especially sliders like the red-eared slider, males have long front claws. During courtship, the male positions himself in front of the female and rapidly vibrates those claws near her face. It's a mating display meant to attract her attention and signal interest. It may look odd to us, but in the turtle world, this is romance. Different species, different methods. While humans use words, gestures, and gifts, this turtle uses claw vibrations. Same idea, just a very different delivery. Now we're at the Volcan de Fuego in Guatemala, and it appears we got an object flying over the top. Let's take a look and see, shall we? I'm going to stop that right there. You can tell a mile away that this is CGI. I mean, I don't even think this is animated. AI. I am going to carry on with this. It's so fake it's not even real. A man decided to do his weight training in the woods at night. Instead of going to the gym or staying home, he chose the woods. Well, maybe it was the calm of nature, who knows? But on this particular night, something interrupted his routine. While filming his workout, he suddenly hears a low growl. It's not loud, but it's clear enough to make him stop. He turns around, but we see nothing. Then the camera catches something else. Up in the trees, there appears to be a pair of eyes staring down at him. Two reflective points fixed in his direction. It's too dark to make out the body, so we cannot tell what it is. Some viewers say it's not an ordinary animal. They argue it could be something like a Bigfoot or even a dogman. The growl makes their theory even more believable. Others think it could simply be wildlife. Many animals' eyes reflect light at night. Owls, raccoons, and even large cats can appear elevated depending on where they're perched. But the growl, that doesn't quite fit. When you watch it closely, what do you think was watching him in the trees that night?
Dude, something in the tree line over there is like shooting me daggers right now. It's not even blinking. Nope. Oh.
Late one afternoon, a person looked up and was shocked. The sun was blazing high in the sky, and off to the side, the moon was hanging there too. Only its top half was visible. The bottom half seemingly hidden, like a celestial secret being partially revealed. And it was the kind of sight that makes you rub your eyes and wonder if you're seeing things. Scientifically, this is perfectly normal. Depending on its phase, the moon can appear partially illuminated even during full daylight. The shadowed portion blends into the bright sky, making it look like it's disappearing. Nothing mysterious, just the moon following its orbiting routine. But for those who cannot resist a little cosmic intrigue, some conspiracy theorists suggest the moon might be more than just a rock orbiting Earth. Perhaps it's a hidden sentinel, a marker of secret alignments, a part of a system we're not meant to notice. In reality, though, It's simply a natural and fascinating sight, a half moon enjoying the sunlight's show.
The sun is here. The moon is here, being lit from the top.
If you've been on social media for a while, you already know that Selena Gomez has been heavily discussed lately, especially after undergoing surgery. Conspiracy circles have been buzzing about her recent appearance. People are pointing to her interviews and public appearances, noting that her tone feels different. Some have even compared her to Gina Davis, and the similarities are hard to ignore. Selena is said to be around 5 feet 5 inches, while Bunny Blanco is listed as around 5 feet 9 inches. But in recent appearances, they look almost the same height, and that doesn't add up. It seems the Selena we know never came back after surgery. Hollywood has a way of transforming actors. They go through surgery, get sick, or take a hiatus only to return looking completely different. Some even speculate that clones or actors in silicone masks are involved. When you watch recent appearances, the question lingers. Is this really Selena, or is it Gina playing Selena? Anybody ever heard of a nine-tailed fox? Either this is some kind of a biological anomaly or it's going to be AI, right? But a subscriber has sent this in. No idea which subscriber, but if you're out there, thank you.
Oh my, you see that? It's moving. Look at those tails and horns. I can't believe this.
I've never seen a creature like that, have you? Does it say July the 11th, 2000? Okay, so this was taken back quite a long way. So, I mean, the footage could be real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tails on a fox. And it's got horns or something going on as well.
Oh my, you see that? It's moving. Look at those tails and horns. I can't believe this.
Now we got some kind of high-tech aircraft flying over Africa. Major conflicts used to reveal advanced technologies that could have benefited humanity earlier, as the question says down here. Well, possibly. I personally think a lot of wars are staged for the sake of finances and corruption.
Y'all seen this? Y'all see that? Look at that. This takes place in Africa. What is that? What was that we just saw? Wow. Wow. I mean, I really love to know what y'all feel about that one.
It's got no wings that I can see. It's just a silhouette. But that's flying like a normal plane would fly anyway, so I don't think it's alien technology. I think this is something that we've made. I'm just not sure what it is. Anybody care to enlighten us out there?
Y'all seen this? Y'all see that? Look at that. This takes place in Africa. What is that? What was that we just saw? Wow.
Now we got a man walking home who thinks he recorded something unusual in the bushes nearby. A creature with beady eyes staring at him from the darkness.
So this frickin' thing, it's staring at me. It followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do. But it followed me home and it is absolutely staring at me right now.
Can't see a thing. Just two eyes like one of those little things out of Star Wars. But once again, why does this footage always have to be blurry? Because it could be something like a house behind the trees next door, and he looks at it and just goes, do you know, that looks like a little pair of eyes. I'm gonna pretend it is and make a video about it. But he sounds like he's not acting either. Every animal's eyes do that at night as well. So what could that possibly be? Anyone care to enlighten us?
So this frickin' thing, it's staring at me. They followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do.
Now I'm back with the giant tree theory. Some believe that certain mountains and flat-top formations around the world are not mountains at all, but the remains of ancient giant trees. Across the globe, there are massive structures that look like cut trees. Conspiracy communities argue that these are not natural rock formations created by lava or erosion, but petrified tree stumps from a time when giants walked the earth. Places like Devil's Tower, Giant's Causeway, Mount Roraima, and many more share the same flat tops that resemble enormous tree trunks. Ancient records speak of giants, and some temples dating between 3,000 and 5,000 years old contain oversized remains or legends of giant beings, and if this is true, then perhaps these mountains are connected to that lost world, and what we see today are fossilized remains. Mainstream explanations say these formations are volcanic columns, basalt cooling patterns, erosion, and tectonic uplift. But the question conspiracy circles keep asking is simple. If the resemblance is so striking, why is the giant tree theory dismissed so quickly? This woman had just moved into a new neighborhood with her dog. One day, she was in the room taking a simple photograph of her dog. She didn't think much of it until later when she reviewed the image, and this is when she saw it. Standing in the doorway was what looked like the figure of an old woman in a gown. The shape was clear enough to make out the outline, and that's what made it so disturbing. As I always say, before you buy a house, look into its history, know what happened there or who lived there. Sometimes you might be walking into more than just a new home. From what we can see in the photograph, this looks more than just a trick of the light. It looks like a presence. We don't even know if she stayed or left after that. Later, the activity escalated to objects moving, strange sounds, and chaos. When you look at it closely, what do you see in that doorway? Is it just lighting and imagination, or did she buy a haunted house? Speaking of haunted places, we have this photograph taken by a woman at the bleachers while watching a game. She decided to take a selfie, and when she reviewed it, something unusual appeared. In front of her, there's a couple, but look closer. The woman sitting there seems to have something draped over her shoulders like a hand. The figure looks distorted, almost rubbery, and some say it resembles a wedding dress. When people die, especially women, they're often dressed in their wedding gown. Some believe that might be the case with this entity or whatever this is. But why is it attached to her? Could it be that she has an item that's haunted, or that the seat she's in carries a spirit? Or maybe spirits can attach themselves to anything at all. Some even suggest it could be a demon, since demons can take any form and choose to appear as a bride. When you look at it closely, what do you see? This whole scene looks very strange and hard to identify. Now we've got a very lucky woman caught on CCTV running into her apartment and a man following closely behind trying to get in. This man was identified as Arisha Lucky, who had 37 prior arrests. Now, I always say, what happens in real life is 9 times out of 10 times more scary than what happens in the paranormal world or anything else, because it's real. Wow. Why do these guys always have tank tops on? Always got tank tops. It's like the uniform of the woman abuser, right? The uniform of the wife beater. The only guy who wears a tank top like that who's ever been any kind of good guy is Bruce Willis. Everybody else who wears a top like that, shirt on top or anything like that, they're always just assholes.
Hey, yo, man, open up the door. Excuse me. Excuse me.
A man left town to spend some time alone in his cabin in a secluded area in the woods. However, he had to immediately cut his alone time short because one morning he was woken up by these eerie sounds. Listen.
What is that?
It was a loud sound that sounded quite strange and indescribable. It had this howl and sort of a grouch and screech to it. The man didn't wait any more time and left there as fast as he could. When he posted the footage, people had a lot to say about it. Some said it was a skinwalker, others said it was a dragon, and some said it was a Bigfoot. However, skeptics thought differently. One said it could be a moose, while another said that it sounded like something being played from a speaker. What do you think it is?
What in the heck?
Apart from the hidden information on aliens, there are a lot of things that we are still not being informed about. Take a look at this footage that a woman shared.
This is the reason why the police pulled us over. Oh my gosh, what is that?
She was driving down a road in Nevada when the police pulled her over to make way for a wide load. What drove by was astonishing. A huge truck carrying a large mysterious object on its trailer. The object looked like a giant bottle, but what could it be? Nevada is home to several research facilities and test ranges, and it's also close to multiple military bases, including the infamous Area 51. This means the mysterious object could be anything. It could be a secret weapon, an experimental aircraft, a missile, or even part of a space mission project. Who knows? Aaron believes it's part of an alien ship or something connected to secretive government projects involving extraterrestrial technology. If you have any idea about what it could be, share them with us in the comments below. Before the next clip, though, I'd show you this comment from the original post. It had us laughing uncontrollably. Good one, sir.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
The property owner recently reviewed her security footage and noticed something strange. The footage, taken in the middle of the night, captured a person standing on the other side of the road. For a few seconds, everything seemed still, but then the scene took an unsettling turn. As she watched, the figure suddenly began to change shape. The person seemed to transform into a four-legged creature, and the transformation was not smooth. There was a clear distortion in the atmosphere around them, almost as if reality itself was bending. Once fully transformed, the creature ran off into the darkness, leaving the road empty once more. What do you think? Could this be real evidence of something supernatural or simply a digital anomaly? This next clip comes from a paranormal channel on this platform called Voyager Overland. Take a look. This was captured during an overland trip to Ruby Falls in Alberta Rockies. A trail camera, and yes, today I mean Trailcam. I can hear some of you giggling already. This is a Trailcam? Okay, I'm sorry about the other time. Anyway, back to this. They set up a Trailcam on one of their trucks, and this is what they saw in the morning. A creature showed up and was moving around the camp. There were times when the creature appeared translucent and times when it appeared more solid. What do you think we could be dealing with? Some think it's a Sasquatch and that it only appears translucent, sometimes because the rays from the infrared camera aren't hitting it well. There are also some who are convinced it's a paranormal being. And you've seen the clip, so you tell us what you think. Usually when you think of fishing, you imagine throwing your net into the water or using a line and bait to catch a fish. But this footage shows something entirely different. Here, fish are flying out of the water, almost as if they're asking you to come catch them. It's a bizarre and fascinating sight, with fish leaping high into the air seemingly without any provocation. This phenomenon could be due to several reasons. One common cause is the presence of predators beneath the water, forcing the fish to jump out in a bid to escape. Another possibility is environmental factors such as sudden changes in water temperature or oxygen levels, which might cause the fish to react in such a dramatic manner. What do you think could be causing the fish to behave this way? Stepping away from the robo-insect scenes, I've got a clip that may leave some scratching their heads. Enjoy.
Bro, I swear to God, this turkey has been, looking 10 minutes ago. Doing this all day, what is going on?
Yes, you were seeing right. That's a turkey circling a graveyard. The lady recording had been at the graveyard for 10 minutes and even came to meet the turkey there doing exactly this. That means it could have been there for hours before she arrived. But what is this turkey doing? Why that particular grave? The truth is, no one can state for sure what the issue is. That doesn't stop people from speculating, though. There are some who believe that animals can sense things that humans cannot, like spirits, entities, and even energies. They suspect that this turkey is reacting to something that we can't see. There are some who also support that it might just be random behavior, possibly influenced by the environment or even by something as simple as the shape or smell of the gravestone. Julius, however, thinks that the turkey could have seen its reflection and thought it was another turkey and gone into its territorial fight mode. Thinking about it, Julius might be right. That gravestone does have the ability to reflect its image, and turkeys have been known to act funny around cars when they see their reflection. But then again, we can't confirm this. Which of these explanations do you think really reflects what may be going on?
Looking 10 minutes ago. Doing this all day, what is going on?
This is candid footage captured by one of 4 adventurous hikers exploring the breathtaking wilderness of Hawke's Bay, near the serene Lake Waka Rim. The group was making their way across a seemingly sturdy suspension bridge suspended high above the waters below. As they walked, laughing and enjoying the stunning views, the unimaginable occurred. The bridge gave way beneath their feet, collapsing with a sudden and terrifying force. 3 of the hikers were sent plummeting 30 feet into the icy waters below. Miraculously, despite the heart-stopping fall, none of them sustained serious injuries, though the experience left them shaken. The bridge, which had been deemed safe for up to 10 people, was a familiar route for many hikers in the area. With this in mind, the group felt assured as they stepped onto it, unaware of the danger lurking beneath. However, one of the hikers later recalled hearing a strange, ominous thud moments before the collapse. Taxes are often seen as one of the most frustrating parts of living, especially in the US. You work hard, get your paycheck, and before you even get a chance to budget, a significant portion has already been taken away by taxes. We're told that these taxes fund the government, but take a look at this footage and let me know how you feel about what's being said.
Government is financed by treasury bonds. And who buys the treasury bonds? Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money.
The man in the video claims that taxes don't actually fund the government. Instead, he explains that the government is funded through treasury bonds, which are bought by the Federal Reserve using printed money. Essentially, they're making money out of thin air. If that's the case, why don't they just print more money and eliminate these high taxes? It makes you wonder, if they can create money like this, what's the point in taxing us so heavily? Could it be that it's all just an illusion designed to keep us working hard and depending on the government? What do you think of this perspective?
The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not.
Amusement parks are always fun and exciting, but if you have ever watched the movie Final Destination, you might think twice before climbing on any of those rides. The idea of thrill rides can be overshadowed by the fear of something going horribly wrong. Take a look at what happened recently at an amusement park in Portland, Oregon. 28 people were stuck upside down on a ride. As they hung there, their phones and wallets fell to the ground, and some people even started throwing up due to the prolonged inversion. They were stuck in that precarious position for 30 minutes before authorities were able to safely get them down. Thankfully, there were no casualties, but the experience was undoubtedly harrowing for everyone involved. Imagine the panic and helplessness of being suspended in the air, unable to do anything but wait for rescue. Okay, I'd rather stop imagining at this point. Ever had such an experience? Share it with us in the comments section.
Bro, it's really broken.
This was recorded by a man who felt that insects he had been seeing around his home for the past few weeks were not normal. Not only did they behave abnormally, they didn't respond to the insecticides he typically uses. This got him curious, and he decided to pay closer attention to them. He ended up squashing one, and that's when reality hit him. The bugs barely had any organic matter in them. Nobody was willing to believe him, so this time he decided to lightly touch the bug and record it. What you see on your screen is the result of that adventure. As he gently taps the back of the bug, there's a click and 2 green lights light up behind the supposed insect. That's not normal, even I know that. And for the first time, Julius, our science whiz, and Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, agree. The big question now is this real? This has been the source of debate for my team members as well as the online paranormal community. Some argued it might be a lightning bug. Others thought it had to be a click beetle. While those sound like great explanations, they don't explain the green lights. What do you think we're dealing with here? Have you ever heard of a place called Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch? These places are shrouded in mystery with tales that have been passed down through generations. Both locations have become infamous for the strange and unexplained phenomena that seems to occur there.
They've seen people actually turn into different animals, like a coyote.
The cows, they'd find them in the morning all mutilated.
I believe that they've always been here.
The most chilling stories come from the indigenous people who once inhabited these lands. They spoke of the Skinwalker, a creature capable of taking the form of any living being. This wasn't just a mythical creature to them, it was a terrifying reality. The Skinwalker was believed to be a powerful witch who could transform into animals, using this ability to carry out its dark deeds. Imagine the fear of seeing someone in your village turn into a wolf, a coyote, or even a bird right before your eyes. And then, as the sun rose in the morning, finding your livestock brutally mutilated with no clear explanation. The terror these people must have felt is hard to comprehend. Even today, stories of strange encounters and unexplainable events continue to surface from both Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch. People report seeing unidentified lights in the sky, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when they step foot in these lands. What is it about these places that attracts so much mystery? Are they really haunted by skinwalkers, or is there something else at play?
The cows, they'd find them in the morning all like mutilated.
I believe that they've always been here.
Isso aí, mano, isso não é drone não.
This strange orb was seen flying in the sky, capturing the attention of onlookers. It appeared much larger than a typical star and moved with a speed and precision that defied the usual patterns of celestial bodies. Orbs like this are often linked to extraterrestrial phenomenon, fueling speculation about their origin and purpose. Unlike conventional aircraft or known astronomical objects, these orbs exhibit behavior that suggests advanced technology or intelligence moving in ways that seem calculated, almost as if they're being guided by something beyond our understanding. This sighting adds to the growing number of unexplained aerial phenomena reported worldwide. What are your thoughts?
Mano, esse drone é muito forte, pô. Ou é drone? Será que é drone? Eu acho que é drone. É drone da polícia? Eu acho.
On the island of Flores, this strange-looking creature was discovered. It was a 3-foot-tall humanoid with large feet and a small skull. This intriguing find was named the Hobbit Man. Known scientifically as Homo floresiensis, this species lived around 50,000 years ago. The discovery of these hobbits has caught the interest of the scientific community and their public. Some people have even reported sightings of similar creatures in various parts of the world. The existence of Homo floresiensis, along with other extinct human species like Neanderthals and Denisovans, suggests that these were indeed different species of humans. These species coexisted with our ancestors Homo sapiens and interacted with them in ways we're still trying to fully understand. The diversity among ancient human species highlights the complexity of human evolution. Each species has unique adaptations that help them survive in their particular environments. For example, the small stature and large feet of Homo floresiensis may have been advantageous for navigating the dense forests of Flores. Others still undiscovered or elusive human-like species living today. While such sightings are often attributed to folklore and imagination, the rich tapestry of human evolution reminds us that the natural world is full of surprises. What do you think about these hobbit humans? In these past few weeks, we featured lots of clips from all over the world showing strange things happening in the skies that people are being forced to keep quiet about. What you see on your screen is no exception, and it was recorded recently in the skies of China. As the one filming zoomed in, it became clear that this was not just ordinary lights. The glow had an eerie, otherworldly quality that left viewers puzzled and intrigued. What could this be? Well, some speculate that it might be a natural phenomenon or a reflection of city lights off low-hanging clouds. However, the unusual appearance of the glow makes these explanations seem unlikely. Others believe that the glow could be caused by human activity, such as a light show or a projection for an underground event. I believe if this was a light show, the person recording would have been perplexed. In recent years, there have been instances of cities using powerful lights and projectors to create dramatic effects in the sky. This has led others to suggest that the glow could be evidence of extraterrestrial activity or a secret government project. What do you think? This footage is truly unsettling. It captures a couple sitting at their table having a conversation while their baby is resting in a rocker nearby. The rocker was completely still until suddenly it started to move on its own. Just at that moment, the mother turned around and the father stood up, clearly alarmed. What's even more chilling is that there appeared to be an unknown force pushing the rocker. The mother quickly picked up the baby, ensuring the child was safe. Thankfully, no harm came to the baby. What could have caused this? In a heartwarming moment, a newlywed couple, excited about their new home, decided to capture the classic bridal carry as the husband lifted his wife and crossed the threshold. With the front door wide open and friends filming, they entered their new home without a second thought. But when they watched the video weeks later, they noticed something disturbing. Just before they step inside, a shadowy figure with glowing eyes can be seen in the background lurking behind the door. The figure stands there only briefly before slipping back into the house. Neither the couple nor the friends filming had noticed it that day. Now, with the unsettling footage in hand, the couple is on edge. They can't help but wonder, what was that eerie presence? And more chillingly, is it still sharing the space with them, hiding in the shadows of their new home? Here is another tragic incident that took place at an amusement park in 2011.
Oh, God, it's gonna crash! It's gonna crash! It's gonna crash! Oh my God!
A child on the Ferris wheel captured this footage. They were high up in the sky when a plane came crashing into the Ferris wheel at a rural festival in eastern Australia. The scene was chaotic and terrifying as the plane struck the Ferris wheel, leaving the children suspended high above the ground and the adults trapped inside the mangled aircraft. The collision trapped 2 children on the ride and 2 adults in the aircraft for hours. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, working tirelessly to free those trapped. The delicate operation required great care to ensure the safety of everyone involved. The children and adults were eventually rescued after several tense hours. Miraculously, there were no fatalities, but the incident left a lasting impact on everyone who witnessed it. I'm sure those 2 kids were so traumatized I don't think they'll ever go on a ride like that again. Unless, of course, they had Julius, who likes to test probabilities. Still on creatures with mechanical properties, take a look at this gecko with a sparkling tail. Normally, geckos are known for their incredible climbing abilities and sticky toe pads, not for generating sparks. The fact that the gecko appears unbothered by the sparking makes it even more intriguing. So how do you explain this? Well, there's no straightforward explanation, but we can try. One possible explanation could be a static electricity buildup. Geckos can sometimes come into contact with surfaces that generate static electricity, especially in dry environments. This doesn't, however, result in physical sparks like we're seeing from the clip. Another theory might be some sort of small electrical current from a nearby source. Perhaps the gecko brushed against a live wire or an electrical outlet, causing the sparking effect. But again, this would typically cause harm to the gecko, which doesn't seem to be the case here. Could it be a naturally occurring phenomenon that scientists have yet to discover? Or maybe this particular gecko has developed a unique adaptation that allows it to interact with electricity in a way we've never seen before. Before you come for me in the comments section, think about it. Maybe we've got a Pikachu situation on our hands. Either that, or this is some sort of animal cyborg, or the clip is simply fake. What do you think, though? This clip was sent to us with claims that it was a real-life recording of the Sukumanta. For those unfamiliar with them, the Sukumanta are mysterious, elusive beings said to inhabit the dense forests of Asia, Sumatra, Indonesia. Known in local folklore for their small stature, light skin, and remarkable speed, these forest dwellers are believed to vanish into the jungle almost instantly, making them nearly impossible to catch or study. While some theories suggest they might be descendants of an isolated indigenous tribe or even a yet undiscovered species, others see them as spirit-like figures from the Assamese mythology. Despite a lack of concrete evidence, viral sightings, including a 2007 video, have kept the legend alive, sparking fascination and debate. Whether mythical or real, the Sukamanta represent the enduring mystery and allure of the Sumatra's wild landscapes. Given these facts, you can understand the hype and excitement around them. Looking at this clip, however, I'm pretty sure it's fake. The reactions of the individuals are too unreal to consider genuine. Also, the individuals look to be covered in soot, and this isn't the first time I have seen a clip from them. Maybe, just maybe, I'm just being skeptical. Or maybe this is the real deal. But what do you think?
Bocah kacir asli ini. Bocah kacir ini warga desa ini. Tuh, masih diselamat itu sama abang itu ini. Abang tuh, makasih ya Mas. Makasih Bang.
Dreams are fascinating topics, especially when they intertwine with deeply held beliefs and spirituality. Take a look at this woman's encounter after she woke from a terrifying dream.
We were laughing, ha ha ha, everything's fine. I got good vibes, and all of a sudden, they all look at me, and they're just lifeless. There's at least 30 people in the room, okay? And they all look at me, and they're like this.
In the dream, figures told her that God was not real and wouldn't come to save her. When she woke up, the fear lingered, and she felt a strange, heavy presence in her home. It scared, so she prayed fervently. Then unexpectedly, she heard 3 knocks at the door. When she looked out of the window, there was no one there. Strangely, after that moment, the intense feeling of unease lifted and was replaced by calm. This experience raises questions about the connection between our dreams and reality, as well as the nature of fear, faith, and perception. Was it a spiritual encounter, a manifestation of deep-seated fear, or something else entirely?
I heard 3 knocks on my front door, and I looked outside, and nobody was there. And it was late, okay? It was late. And so after that, I was like, oh my God. Whatever I casted out of my house was it got cast out. And
In Iceland, a volcano erupted in Grindavik, causing significant disruption. The lava flowed over roads and engulfed a huge portion of the land. As of now, the eruption is still ongoing. The volcanic activity began on May the 29th, and since then, it's covered homes and properties in its path. The relentless flow of lava has forced many residents to evacuate, leaving behind their belongings and homes. Emergency services and scientists are closely monitoring the situation, but the continuous eruption poses ongoing challenges. The landscape of Grindavik has been drastically altered, with roads rendered impassable and vast areas transformed by the relentless lava. The community has rallied together, with evacuation centers set up for displaced residents. Our hearts go out to you guys. Scientists have recently discovered 7 stars that emit unusual infrared radiations. In their words, they were basically glowing. The funny thing is, they don't know why. One scientist, however, believes that structures known as Dyson spheres could be responsible. But what exactly are these structures? One prevailing theory is that they could be some kind of advanced alien technology, possibly functioning as enormous solar panels. These hypothetical solar panels will be used to capture energy from the stars, which would be an efficient way for an advanced civilization to harness stellar energy. Another possibility is that these structures might serve as a massive space station. These could be habitats or operational bases for extraterrestrial life forms designed to take advantage of the energy output of their host stars. Of course, there's always the chance that these structures are something else entirely, something beyond our current understanding or imagination. Whatever these structures are, however, scientists agree that if they do exist, they would be invisible to the infrared spectrum, and that's what you're seeing. Is this a confirmation? A yes and a no? We can't be entirely sure. Scientists can only speculate at this point, but what do you think of the whole thing? Possible or ludicrous? Let us know in the comments section. This video from 2016, originally posted by a Reddit user, has certainly stirred up a lot of curiosity. The footage captures the woods near the user's house, where strange noises had been echoing all evening. These sounds are eerie and defy easy explanations, leading to a flood of theories from people trying to make sense of what they heard. Some speculated that it might be a malfunctioning radio tower causing strange signals to resonate through the area. Others thought it could be someone drilling nearby, though no construction was reported in the vicinity. A few even suggested that the noises could be wind passing through pipes or some other natural phenomenon. However, none of these explanations seem to fit the situation perfectly. What's particularly odd is that similar mysterious sounds have been reported all over the world. These unexplained noises have been heard in various locations, from dense forests to urban areas, yet no clear explanation has ever been given. The sounds range from metallic groans to eerie howls, and they often leave those who hear them with more questions than answers. Do you remember the famous Patterson-Gimlin film, often referred to as the Paddy film? This iconic footage, captured in 1967, allegedly shows a Bigfoot, a creature that has sparked endless debates and frenzies within the cryptozoology community. Some skeptics quickly dismissed it, claiming it was nothing more than a person in a costume. But let's take a closer look at what some experts and enthusiasts have pointed out. If you focus on the thigh of the creature, you'll notice something intriguing. The fur in that area appears to be worn down. This subtle detail might seem insignificant at first, but it could be a crucial piece of evidence. The wear and tear on the fur could suggest something more than just a fabricated suit. It's believed that this wear comes from the creature's hands grazing that particular spot as it walks and swings its arms, a behavior consistent with Bigfoot, which is known for having long arms. So what do you think, Bigfoot or not? When it comes to paranormal things, hospitals are like magnets for them, mainly because they've served as a place of trauma, suffering, and even death. To underscore this point, take a look at this footage captured by a worker at a hospital. They had noticed something weird going on in a particular room for a while, so they decided to take a camera in hopes of capturing something unusual. And then this happened. In the video, you see an empty bed, but out of nowhere, did you see that? Take a closer look. A dark figure appears out of nowhere by the bed and walks right through it. The figure looks like a shadow, but the room is brightly lit, so you might miss it if you don't pay attention. What do you think this shadow was? Could it be a camera glitch, or was it an actual entity, perhaps the ghost of a deceased patient who used to be in that room? Before dismissing this as unreal, check out this comment from a health worker on the original post. I know you guys loved the praying mantis from our last episode, so here's another one. This is the African spiny mantis. The African spiny mantis, or Pseudocribotra wolbergill, is a fascinating insect. Its striking appearance, with its vibrant colors and spiky appendages, makes it almost otherworldly. The pinkish hues and intricate patterns on its body serve as both camouflage and a warning to potential predators. These mantises are native to Africa and are often found in gardens and forests where they blend in seamlessly with flowers and foliage. Despite their delicate and beautiful appearance, African spiny mantises are skilled hunters. They use their powerful front legs to catch and hold prey, which they consume with their strong mandibles. I know they're cute, but don't go giving them your fingers unless, of course, you don't want them anymore. This footage was taken by a homeowner in Kerala, India. As he was parking his car, he noticed something extraordinary: a large panther casually roaming in front of the house. The house seemed to be built near a forest, which might explain why this magnificent creature curiously crept into the compound. Just look at the huge feline, pacing about with such grace and power. It's both mesmerizing and terrifying at the same time. Luckily for the man, he was safely inside his car, so he could remain there while filming the panther's every move. The animal, seemingly unaware of his presence, continued to explore the area. Can you imagine the sheer adrenaline rush he must have felt, knowing that this wild predator was just a few feet away? A family was camping in the woods when they were woken up by strange noises. The father, curious and a bit concerned, decided to investigate. He grabbed his camera and a torch, determined to capture whatever was making these sounds, and he did achieve his goal. But what he found was chilling. Take a look. Crouched on a tree branch was a humanoid figure with glowing eyes that pierced through the darkness. The image, though initially unclear, was enhanced later to reveal more details. The figure, while eerily human in shape, didn't seem quite right. The glowing eyes and the lack of visible clothing pointed to something not entirely human. What was it? He didn't know, which is why he uploaded the clip online. I have my theories on what we might be dealing with, but this is one of those videos where I want to hear from you. You tell me your thoughts and theories. What do you think we're dealing with here? A man from Saudi Arabia was out one night exploring an abandoned house when he found pictures on the wall of a little girl. As he continued to search around the house, he began to hear noises that suggested he was not alone. He called out, hoping to get the attention of whoever might be there, but saw no one. Despite the unsettling sounds, he pressed on, still calling out as he moved toward the source of the noise. The trail led him to some stairs to the rooftop where clothes were hanging on a clothesline. As he walked by, he noticed something strange. Between the hanging clothes, he saw the pale face of a girl with pitch-black eyes. Terrified, he backed away. But when he looked again, there was no one there. Oddly enough, the face he saw resembled the girl in the picture on the wall downstairs. It seemed that he might have encountered the ghost of the girl, but how was she there? Did she perhaps die in the house, or was it an entity that had taken a form? Imagine seeing this while out on the highway with your friends. The driver of the car does not appear to be human, with that large blue head and faint blue glow around its body. The creature didn't seem to notice them as it just continued to drive off as if it was a normal day on Earth, except it was not. They could have just run into an alien. Aliens are a hot topic these days. Despite the buzz, we don't know for sure if they are already among us or if we've ever made contact. Imagine Aaron's and my surprise when we came across this footage. What do you think's going on here? A real alien casually driving around, or a cosplayer going home from one of those cons they usually organize? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Still on strange and undiscernible captures, we move to the seaside where an individual captured something unique. Take a look. It starts off as a foggy mess that leaves you wondering what it is that you are looking at. Within a few seconds, though, whatever it is comes into view. We still can't see much of it, but it's not pareidolia at play. We see what looks like a head and maybe horns. Some who saw the clip in the paranormal group it was uploaded in believe this might be a leviathan. Some also mention Chulu. There were some selected few who thought it could be a UFO base. Not everyone believes the capture is genuine, though. There were some who thought and believed it was all fake and made up. It's not fair to call any of these assumptions right or wrong, since all they are assumptions. But anyway, you've seen it too, so what do you personally think? A passenger on an aeroplane captured something intriguing while filming out of the window. Suspended in the sky was a shiny, unidentified craft that hovered momentarily. It appeared metallic, reflecting sunlight in a way that made it stand out clearly against the blue sky. Then a split second, it zoomed off at an impossible speed, disappearing from view almost instantly. This footage has sparked debates, with some suggesting it might be a highly advanced drone or experimental aircraft. However, others are convinced it points to something beyond our current technological understanding, possibly a UFO. What do you guys think this could be?
Oh. Whoa. What is that? It's like teleporting. It's like that.
These holes on this brain MRI aren't holes, they're parasites. Can you guess what it's from? This is neurocysticercosis, and it's caused from eating undercooked meats. This person ate parasitic eggs hidden in pork that then hatched all over the body, including the brain.
Now let's talk about worms, not the ones on the ground, but the ones that can infest humans. Worm infestations are more common than we realize, and some types of worms can even make their way into our brains. These parasites can be mistaken for tumors and have serious health consequences, including organ failure, blindness, and in severe cases, death. One of the most common sources of worms is food, particularly sushi, because the fish is often uncooked. Another notorious carrier is pork. According to the World Health Organization, over 1 billion people worldwide suffer from parasitic infections. This underscores the critical importance of regular deworming. Dr. Josh Hellman, a medical doctor from Harvard, suggests that certain foods can help in deworming. These include carrots, beetroot, and pomegranates. These foods contain compounds that can help to expel parasites from the body. So everyone, it's important to deworm regularly. If you haven't done it in a while, consider this your reminder. You definitely don't want those parasites crawling up into your brain. AI has been good so far, but there are still people who are very skeptical about it, and this is why.
在给俄罗斯男看诗，只有你们中国的兄弟姐妹没抛弃我们。俄罗斯的农村真是个奇妙的地方，注释是土豆。
This is not Olga. Her name is April, and she's been living in China for 8 years. She has my voice, my face, and she speaks fluent Mandarin. And here's Natasha. She's the 31-year-old Russian woman who decided to come to China to sell and advertise Russian food.
A Ukraine YouTuber by the name of Olga Loik came across a chilling discovery. Numerous social media accounts were using an AI-generated influencer with her face and voice. Most of these platforms were Chinese accounts and some were Russian. These accounts were used for various purposes. Some were spreading propaganda, while others were making more money than Olga ever made from social media.
I then translated the videos with Google Translate and figured out the most terrifying part. The narratives my clones were voicing sounded like blatant propaganda.
Russian people will always remember. I really appreciate China. While everyone else is moving away from Russia, only China is behind the quiet support
when other countries reject Russian stuff, it's your support to help Russia meet its immediate needs. China and Russia are good neighbors. China-Russia friendship lasts forever. And then she proceeds to advertise her Russian candies, and you can actually go here and you can buy the candies that she's advertising, which is kind of crazy because, for example, I haven't made even like a $1 from YouTube at the moment, and she already uses my face. They already use my face to make a profit.
The disturbing part is there is nothing she can do about it because these entities technically own the rights to her likeness. How? When you log on to social media and accept the user agreements without reading them carefully, you might end up giving away your face and voice for free to be used by others to make money. I know you love these AI apps, but you may want to start checking their terms and conditions before you upload your images there. But what do you guys think of this situation? Should there be stricter regulations on how AI-generated content can be used, especially when it involves someone's likeness? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. If the Dogman is your favorite cryptid, then you might find our first clip of the day rather interesting. Take a look.
Aí, pessoal, suposto lobisomem aqui de Petrolina, no caminho de Pedrinha. Tá vendo aí? Muitas pessoas dizem que é lenda, que não existe. Tô mostrando aí pra vocês aí, que é a pura verdade, ó.
É, olha as patas como é diferente.
If what you are seeing is confusing you, then you're not alone. When I saw this the first time, I wondered what I was looking at. Sure, I could see that it was a creature that had been knocked down by a vehicle of some sort, but what exactly is the creature that I was looking at? Well, that was the mystery, and I didn't have to wait long to be told it was allegedly a dogman that had been knocked down on the road. While it does look dead, a part of me feels like it was never alive at all. It looks like a doll or a costume that has been deliberately left out to create the impression of a dogman. I mean, I could be wrong, and Julius, our resident science wiz's skepticism could be rubbing off on me, but then again, what do you guys think? You've seen the clip as well.
Aí, pessoal, suposto lobisomem aqui de Petrolina, no caminho de Pedrinha. Tá vendo aí? Muitas pessoas dizem que é lenda, que não existe. Tô mostrando aí pra vocês aí, que é a pura verdade, ó.
É, olha as patas como é diferente.
Wolfman.
Dude, that sounds like a fucking... Is that a wolfman or a wolf? I know you... Alright, let's go! Go!
This was uploaded online by a member of our paranormal platform, claiming he and his family had encountered a wolfman. I have my reservations about the clip, but what do you guys also think? Could this be genuine, or is someone messing around with us?
Dude, that thing is big, whatever it is.
Two military guys were in a tree in the woods, likely engaged in some type of training, when out of nowhere, two bears came running into the area. One of the bears started to climb the tree where the men were perched. Luckily, the bear was not aggressive. It noticed the first man, looked around for a while, and perhaps was confused about why the man kept laughing. Maybe it's self-conscious, and the man's laughter affected its self-esteem, but boy, are we glad he was uninterested in the man. This encounter could have turned dangerous, but fortunately the bear's calm behavior allowed the men to avoid a potentially hazardous situation. If you must go out there to the woods, make sure you're informed and know what you may encounter there. This next clip is one that fits Aaron's alley because it's a conspiracy.
There's North America, South America, Africa, India, Russia, China. Okay, so very similar to this map. North America, South America, Africa, India, China, Russia. Okay? Only thing different, Australia. There is no Australia here because it hasn't been discovered yet. This is 1587. Australia wasn't discovered until 1606. So that's why that's not there. But my main question is, if this is a globe flattened out and this is on the bottom, right? What the fuck is this? There's no ice on it. And guess what? Antarctica hadn't been discovered yet.
Aaron shared this clip, and it's a map that takes us all the way back to 1587. This map has no Australia and no Antarctica, but on the map where Antarctica would have been, there are images of warm weather animals there, like camels. How is that possible? It just shouldn't be. Could it mean that something had happened to create the ice that led to the migration of those animals from that region? If so, what could have happened between 1587 to 1820 that caused the ice to appear? A commenter on the original post wrote that it could be because they had very little technology for accurate mapping back then. However, with what we know now, could that really be the case? Some theories suggest that ancient cartographers might have had access to older maps or knowledge from earlier civilizations that depicted a different climate in Antarctica. There are speculations about lost continents and civilizations that might have existed before the last ice age, which could explain the presence of such animals. Others argue that these maps might have been based on myths, legends, or misinterpretations of information from explorers who didn't have the means to verify their findings accurately. Aaron believes that one of these theories might be the truth. Julius, however, rejects most of them in the name of science. He says they aren't scientific and don't align with what we know about our planet. What do you think, though? Is it possible those ancient maps hold clues to a different climatic past? Or are these fanciful interpretations by early map makers? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
So, you want to explain to me, first thing, what the hell is this? All this land. And second thing, what froze them? What happened between 1587 and 1892 where those areas got frozen?
Do you love noodles? If so, you might want to skip this one because you wouldn't look at your bowl of noodles the same way again. Still here? Well, don't say I didn't warn you. The individual who recorded this was enjoying a bowl of noodles when something truly bizarre happened. One single noodle began to slither out of the bowl on its own, hanging over the side as if it had suddenly come to life. The sight of it moving on its own would be enough to make anyone pause. I know it would leave me traumatized, but not sure what happened after. The individual patiently waited till the noodle made it out of the bowl and stopped recording. The big question on our mind is, did he kill the noodle? Was it an actual noodle? If not, what happened? This is one of the many mystery glowing rings that have appeared in the sky, baffling both experts and casual observers alike. No one seems to know exactly what these strange formations could be, and judging by the footage, they appear strikingly real and convincing. Some believe these rings could be portals to another dimension, while others suggest they might be a rare yet natural phenomenon that we simply don't fully understand yet. The possibilities are endless, and the mystery only deepens as more sightings like this are reported. What do you think? Could this be a sign of something otherworldly, or is there a more grounded explanation waiting to be uncovered? I came across this hearing test and thought I'd share it with you all. Apparently, younger people can hear higher frequencies better than older people. As we're always out there in search of the strange and mysterious, it's crucial we can hear the cryptids and paranormal entities when they come lurking. The test is simple. It involves playing a sound at increasing frequencies. As the frequency rises, it becomes more difficult for older people to hear the sound. This is due to our ability to hear high frequencies diminishing with age, a condition known as presbycusis. So let's put this to the test. Watch the video and listen to the tones. Share it in the comments at which age or frequency you stopped hearing the sound. It's fascinating to observe how our hearing changes over time and varies from person to person. Remember, there is no right or wrong answers, and everyone's hearing ability is unique. America has been at the center of many conspiracy theories, and even President Joe Biden has not escaped their reach. While some of these theories seem outlandish, others have, on occasion, turned out to be true. Take a look at this footage.
All of the tax breaks, essentially all the tax breaks.
That's moving naturally.
All of the benefits flowing to the top.
In the video, you can see President Biden talking in an interview. Now, there have been numerous discussions about the president being a robot, but this time, someone pointed out something else. Look closely at his neck. The skin color of his head and his neck are two different shades. His head looks like the male white man we know, but his neck appears darker, like a black man's. What's going on here? The facial movements seem very real, so it can't be a robot. However, some people believe this is someone wearing a real-life mask of the president. Is it possible that we're looking at a high-quality mask, or is it some sort of makeup error? Well, there's a third option. The clip is fake, but still, share your thoughts.
Including going back to the Great Depression.
Okay.
Ever.
Humans might be on the brink of a breakthrough in extending life. A new drug has been developed, and when tested, it extends the lifespan of a middle-aged mice by 25% while also slowing down the aging process. This drug doesn't just add years, it appears to enhance the quality of life, reducing the rate of cancer deaths and potentially addressing age-related diseases like fibrosis, chronic inflammation, and more. There's a buzz around this development, with many speculating that this drug could be the NMN, nicotinamide monochloroetide, a compound already known for its potential anti-aging effects. If this research continues to show promise, we could be looking at a future where aging is significantly delayed, bringing us one step closer to the concept of immortality. We're not entirely sure if this is also another drug altogether. Either way, this is going to be a game changer, don't you think? What are we looking at here is an alleged footage from World War II, where a man appears to single-handedly topple a tank. At first glance, it might seem like he's incredibly strong or perhaps has some sort of superpower, but the reality is far less fantastical. This isn't a real tank at all. What he's dealing with is actually an inflatable tank decoy and a rubber tank. These decoys were used during the war to deceive enemy forces, making them think they were facing much larger and more formidable armies than they actually were. These clever tactics were a part of psychological warfare designed to mislead and confuse the enemy. It's fascinating to think about how something so simple as a rubber inflatable could play a significant role in a global conflict, tricking even the most seasoned military strategists. Next, we got a woman who had a really strange conversation with her daughter. The girl started talking about the world beginning again, which was quite an unusual topic. Take a listen.
The world will begin again.
Uh-huh. What else did you say?
Other people will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Well, what was the other part?
What other
About everybody dying? What were you saying?
More people will come on Earth.
Okay. Why did you think that?
Because it's what the world begins like.
Oh.
When I die,
Uh-huh.
I will come back and I'll be a baby and I'll have a different name.
Okay.
And you'll have it.
Okay.
So that's what I said.
Alright, thanks, P.
It's what I have to say and it's sad.
Yeah, it does sound sad.
I had to say something sad.
Okay.
So that's why I just talked to you.
Okay, thanks, P.
You're welcome.
Okay.
The girl even mentioned that she would die and come back to life as a different person, like reincarnation, and she talks about people coming on Earth. This had Aaron excited and trying to decode what she said. He wondered if they're referring to some sort of alien invasion. I know you may want to dismiss this, but this isn't the first time kids have been caught talking about these kinds of things. One commenter even stated that this girl might be an indigo child. For those unfamiliar with the term, indigo children are believed by some to be a new generation of kids with special, sometimes supernatural abilities or insights. They're often described as being highly intuitive, spiritually aware, and possessing a strong sense of purpose. What do you think, though? Are the words of this little girl worth paying attention to, or do you think her mother put her up to it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.
People will come on the world.
Okay.
That's what I said.
This is our old cemetery. This one has some wording on it.
This man was out on the sea when he came across a cemetery that was buried by the water. Some houses were submerged in the water as well. This eerie site, or should I say sad site, is part of the Falcon Reservoir. The Falcon Reservoir, built in 1952, lies 40 miles southeast of Laredo, Texas. When it was constructed, several communities, including their houses and cemeteries, were submerged underwater. As of June 13, 2024, Falcon Reservoir was only 9.7% full, exposing more of these submerged structures than usual. The low water levels have uncovered many graves and homes. Has any one of you lived or had a family that was close to this area? Can you share your stories or experiences?
A water well, another house, and another house.
What was that? All these, quick. All these.
This footage comes from Sydney, Australia. One evening, a woman was outside when she noticed something unusual in the sky. Behind the clouds, she saw a formation that appeared to be a triangular UFO, but it was made up entirely of lights. The lights moved slowly within the cloud, maintaining the triangular shape as it drifted across the sky. Could this be a new type of UFO, or perhaps an advanced aircraft? What do you guys think?
Oh, ¿por qué esa vaina?
This footage comes with an unsettling mystery. A group staying at a seaside hotel reported hearing a woman's wails in the night. The cries sounded as if they were coming from somewhere out near the water, prompting them to call the police. When an officer arrived, he began recording. He too heard the wails echoing over the shoreline. Strangely though, as he moved closer to where the sound came from, it drifted even further out to sea. The incident reminds me of La Llorona, the legendary ghost said to lure people to their doom with her mournful cries. But was this really an encounter with La Llorona, or was there someone genuinely in distress calling out for help in the dark?
Oh, ¿por qué esa vaina?
The bird is just sitting
One,
there.
yeah? Okay, for real. No, that's crazy.
It's just stuck in place.
A family spotted this bird flapping its wings furiously, but it just was not moving. It just hovered in the same spot as if stuck. After a while, it stopped, then flapped again, and finally flew off. At first, it seemed like one of those strange glitches, but there's a simple explanation. And yes, Julius did give it to us. According to him, the bird was likely fighting a strong headwind, which is a gust of air blowing directly against it. Even though it was flapping, the wind matched its speed, so it couldn't move forward. To anyone watching, it looked like a bird that was frozen in mid-air. When it paused, the bird was likely regaining energy or adjusting its approach, and on its second try, it managed to push through the wind and fly away. So it's not a glitch, just nature at work.
The bird is just sitting
One,
there.
yeah? Okay, for real. No, that's crazy.
It's just stuck in place.
I've seen snow before. Y'all, I've never seen snow before. I'm just waking up, sorry, y'all. What is this stuff? What? That snow, is it real? What is this? Look at this shit.
Climate change has been a pressing issue for humanity over the years, and it seems we keep hearing more and more about its effects. Temperatures are becoming increasingly unpredictable, with some places experiencing extreme shifts, one example being New Orleans. Take a look at these two clips shared by residents of New Orleans. They woke up to snow. Yeah, snow. Snow is something unheard of in this hot and humid region. The last time they experienced snowfall was back in 2004, over 20 years ago. Now the area is blanketed in snow. Just look at this man's reaction. It's pure shock and excitement. But is this strange weather event connected to climate change, as many believe? One commenter had an interesting take, claiming it's got nothing to do with climate change, but it's part of how the Earth resets itself every 2,500 years. While that theory might not have scientific backing, it's still something to think about. Don't you agree?
I've never touched like snow and like walked in it before. Like, is this legal? Is this legal in Louisiana to do this?
Sometimes we forget that security guards and even law enforcement officers are human too. They can feel fear just like the rest of us. This footage serves as a chilling reminder of that. In this clip, a security guard was patrolling one evening when he heard some unsettling noises and decided to investigate, using his phone to record and torch the light as well. What he captured in the darkness was this eerie figure that resembled a person but appeared to be covered in some kind of shiny substance. Most unsettling of all, its eyes were glowing in the dark. Before he could react further, the creature suddenly bounded toward him on all fours, moving with inhuman agility. The guard did not wait around. He bolted from the scene as fast as he could. Some viewers speculate that this could have been a person under the influence or perhaps possessed, while others believe this encounter hints at something more supernatural. Julius, on the other hand, sees nothing but a doctored clip. But what do you guys think? A family living in the Appalachian Mountains decided to take action after experiencing numerous paranormal encounters. To capture evidence, they set up security cameras around their house. One camera in particular, positioned to face the woods at the back of the property, recorded something in the dead of night that left them stunned. The footage revealed an apparition moving amidst the trees. It was human-shaped but appeared as a small, smoke-like entity weaving in and out of sight. The figure drifted through the dark forest, vanishing and reappearing as if it were part of the shadows themselves. Given the notorious reputation of the Appalachian Mountains for eerie and unexplained phenomenon, this sighting is hardly surprising. With so many legends and stories rooted in the area, this is no surprise at all. What do you think this entity could be? A lost spirit or a wisp? This video was taken in India and shows a shocking incident during the Thrissur festival. In this annual celebration, elephants are decorated and trained to parade through the streets. However, things took a wild turn, this time as the elephants went on a rampage, injuring 24 people. Now, elephants are incredibly massive and powerful creatures. While they can be trained, the process of taming these animals is often harsh and controversial. In many cases, these animals are subjected to beatings to force them into submission before being trained to perform. It seems nature decided to take its course this time. The elephants broke free from their constraints and charged into the crowd, hurtling people aside and creating chaos. This raises serious concerns about using wild animals for festivals and public displays. Was this incident inevitable, given the way these creatures are treated? Is it time to rethink how we interact with animals in such events? In my opinion, this should never have happened in the first place. If you're going to treat animals cruelly just for human enjoyment, then you should expect the consequences. Karma, as they say, is a Two friends were out at sea in Miami when they noticed something strange on the horizon. It was an odd floating shape with lights surrounding it. The object was hard to identify, and opinions were divided on what it could be. Naturally, they uploaded their discovery to one of the paranormal communities where it spread thanks to the debates that emanated from it. Some suggested it might be a cruise ship, but the lights, how do you explain the lights? I'm not sure I'm the only one who sees that it looks like a fish, right? I'm not sure if cruise ships do this, but many in the community didn't think so. They believed it could be an illusion, such as a fata morgana, which is a phenomenon where lights bend to create mirage-like images over water. It's hard to say if this is a cause for worry or just a cruise ship. Can those of us with expertise in the field confirm this for us?
That looks like the cruise ship flipped over and it's shaped as a fish now.
This was allegedly recorded by a man who was walking through the woods. Unknown to him, something rather bizarre and offsetting awaited him. There, on a broken structure tangled with tree roots, was a strange-looking snake that was unlike anything he'd seen before. It had two long, menacing horns protruding from its head and what appeared to be fins under its mouth. The creature bore an eerie resemblance to a miniature dragon, except it lacked legs. The horns and fins gave it an almost mythical appearance, making it look like something straight out of a fantasy novel. When this began to circulate, some began to wonder if this could be the remnant of a prehistoric era, a serpent that forgot, or even a species that we are yet to have documented. While the whole thing sounded interesting, some raised questions on the authenticity of the clip. Like most things on the internet, however, we're unable to verify its authenticity, so this is something you would have to take with a grain of salt. What do you think, though? Could this be real or someone messing with us? A woman was at the beach, standing on a rock, gazing down at the water below when she spotted something incredible. Out on one of the rocks in the middle of the ocean was a creature unlike anything she'd ever seen. It had the upper torso of a human and the lower body of a fish, a typical mermaid, right there in the open. But as amazing as this sounds, something about this footage feels off, almost like it's been edited. The way the creature moves, the lighting, or maybe even the way it blends into the background all seem a bit too perfect, almost like it's too good to be true. What do you think? Some cave explorers captured this footage deep inside a Mayan cave. It's a striking statue of a man kneeling with his arms stretched out in front of him holding a white bird. At first, it might seem like just another artifact, but there's much more to it when you consider the history of these Mayan caves. Mayan caves were often considered sacred portals to the underworld known as Xibalba. These spaces were believed to be spiritual gateways where rituals, sacrifices, and ceremonies took place to communicate with the gods. The statues pose with the offering of a bird, and it's a symbol often associated with freedom or a connection to the heavens. This may signify a plea or a tribute to the deities for peace, guidance, or balance. What makes it even eerier is how intact this artifact is, preserved through centuries in such an isolated and mysterious environment. Take a look at this bizarre photograph of a hermit crab that has decided to use a doll's head as its shell. It looks like the crab has a human head, and honestly, it's equal parts creepy and fascinating. Hermit crabs are known for using whatever they can find as a protective shell, but this choice, well, it's straight out of a horror movie. Imagine stumbling across this on your beach. What would you think? Take a look at what this man has to say about our minds.
So the programs that you get for the first 7 years are not yours. They came from other people, and they pass that on to you. But the problem is, it's not just the previous generation, the generation before, the generation before, so we pass down through the family.
It's pretty trippy when you think about it. He suggests that our minds are like programs passed down to us from those who came before. In other words, our paths in life are shaped by the influences of what we've seen or heard from others as we grew up. It's a wild concept, right? The basic idea is that we're all running on inherited mental software, following patterns set by previous generations. What do you think about this? Does it make sense, or is it a bit too far out there?
The generation before, the generation before, so we pass down through the family.
These two huge orbs were spotted in the sky, one hovering at the top and the other below. At first, they seemed just like another mysterious sighting, but then something extraordinary happened. The lower orb began to ascend slowly, making its way toward the one above. As soon as the two orbs touched, there was a sudden burst of light, illuminating the entire sky, followed by a loud booming noise that echoed across the area. Even a nearby dog started barking frantically, clearly disturbed by the strange event. This bizarre incident has left many wondering what exactly could have happened. Were these orbs some sort of experimental aircraft, possibly from a secret military project? Or could they be something more otherworldly, like extraterrestrial crafts merging for reasons beyond our understanding? Some have even speculated that this could be a sign of an interdimensional event where two realities briefly collided. What are your thoughts on this? A mysterious entity known as the Hat Man has been making the rounds lately. Descriptions of this figure are chilling. It's said to have a dark silhouette wearing a brimmed hat. Take a look at these various clips of the Hat Man captured by different people worldwide. What's fascinating is that those who encounter the Hat Man are rarely fully awake. Most sightings occurred during sleep paralysis, while others claim to see it in their rooms before it vanishes briefly. Now, this image is particularly eerie. The Hat Man was reportedly captured standing behind a woman in this photograph. Strangely, she passed away just a few days later. No one truly knows what the Hat Man is or what it represents. Could it be a harbinger of death, a manifestation of fear, or perhaps something else entirely? Do you have any encounters or stories involving this mysterious hatter? Please share in the comments section. This footage allegedly comes from a village in the Dominican Republic. The villagers were drawn to a mysterious light shining on a lagoon. The strange light seemed to float on the surface of the water, and despite someone throwing a stick at the spot, the light remained steady and undisturbed. Here's the strange part. There was no visible source for the light, no flashlights, no equipment nearby, nothing that could explain it. The person filming even panned the camera around the area to double-check, and when they pointed it back at the lagoon, the light had vanished without a trace. It left everyone stunned. What do you think this could be? Julius thinks it's fake, but Aaron says it reminds him of an underwater UAP and sonoluminescence. We've covered both these topics in the past, so what say you? Our next clip comes from a doorbell cam, and you wouldn't believe what it captured. Take a look. That's certainly a strange thing, but not the kind of stranger you would expect at your door. It looks weird and appears to be levitating. It also looks like it has an orb in the front which casts a shadow whilst it moves. Well, not normal, right? We've had trouble determining what exactly this is, so can you help? In this next footage, captured on a secluded property with a security camera monitoring the grassy land, something eerie unfolds. In the middle of the night, a humanoid figure appears in the footage. It moves with an unusual gait, bent at the waist as if searching for a place to stay hidden. The creature carefully navigates the area before settling behind a large tree, staying out of sight. While some viewers argue that this could be an intruder or a person trying to avoid detection, skeptics believe that this sighting could be something far more mysterious, like a skinwalker. What do you think? Is this just a trespasser, or could it be evidence of something more paranormal? I came across two intriguing clips from witnesses who were passengers on separate flights. The first clip is from California. As the plane ascended, a passenger looks out of the window and notices these small objects that look like crafts hovering or moving below. The second clip comes from a flight over the Gulf of Mexico, showing a similar sight of numerous small crafts or objects below. Both witnesses strongly believe these are UFOs, which isn't far-fetched given the history of UFOs and UAP sightings in America. But here's an alternative theory. Could these objects simply be large ships on the ocean, appearing unusual because of the perspective and altitude? Then again, the sheer number of these objects makes it hard to ignore the possibility of something more mysterious. What do you think? A cowgirl from Texas shared a chilling and unforgettable experience she had in her stables. She was wrapping up her evening routine, making sure the animals were secure and everything was in place for the night. That's when she saw something that froze her in her tracks. It was a man on horseback riding through her wooden arena. The footage she captured is startlingly clear despite it being sundown. You can make out the black horse and the rider dressed in a long-sleeved white shirt. But here's the eerie part. Both the man and the horse were completely transparent like apparitions. They looked ghostly. When she shared this footage, people were stunned. The majority believed she had encountered a ghost, perhaps the spirit of a cowboy who used to work at the stables. But one theory that got me is that it was an alternate reality. What if this cowgirl accidentally got a glimpse into a parallel universe, one where this man owns her stables? What do you think about that? Back in 1997, a man named Mel Waters made a chilling call to a popular radio show, sharing an eerie story about a mysterious deep hole located on his property. Mel was baffled by the existence of the hole. He had no idea how it got there or what it truly was. But what really caught everyone's attention was the strange phenomena associated with it. For starters, animals seemed to have an instinctive fear of the hole. They would refuse to go near it, almost as if they sensed something ominous about it. Yet the trees and plants surrounding the hole thrived unusually well, creating an eerie contrast to the otherwise unsettling aura of the area. As Mel's story gained traction, it caught the attention of the military. They swiftly took over the property, specifically targeting the hole. Suddenly, Mel was barred from accessing his own land, and when he questioned their presence, he was given a vague and suspicious explanation. They claimed to be investigating a plane crash, but there was no signs of wreckage or debris, no evidence to support their story. The military's actions only deepened the mystery. They brought in all sorts of gadgets and radios to conduct their investigation, but there was one major problem. The radios would malfunction whenever they got too close to the hole. It was as if the hole had its own energy field, interfering with electronic equipment. But perhaps the most unsettling detail of all was the hole's seemingly bottomless nature. Mel had tried to measure its depth by lowering fishing lines into it, but they never hit the bottom. The hole just seemed to go on forever. What exactly was this hole? Why did the military take such a keen interest in it? This video is a classic piece of footage dating back to 1967, captured at the PJ Trackway. It features large tracks embedded in the ground, believed by many to be the footprints of Bigfoot. These tracks have sparked countless debates and theories over the years. Some argue that the size and depth of the prints suggest a creature of considerable weight and stature, much larger than any known animal in the region. Skeptics, however, often suggest alternative explanations such as hoaxes or natural formations. What do you think? Could these tracks really be evidence of Bigfoot, or is there a more mundane explanation? Moving on, we visit China, where scientists and researchers have developed a groundbreaking way to control a robot using a brain. And when I say a brain, I'm not necessarily referring to a human brain, but a lab-grown one. I mean, take a look at the robot. It moves on its own and it's set to learn faster than traditional AI systems. In case you were wondering, here's how they made it work. The lab-grown brain is grown with a silicon chip. Through this chip, the brain sends and receives information which is then processed by a biocomputer to bring the robot to life. The goal behind this technology is to create robots capable of performing hard labor. But if you think about it, this is eerily similar to humans doing the same work. After all, these robots now possess a level of consciousness that almost mirrors our own. I don't know about you, but how do you feel about this? There's a cosmetic procedure gaining popularity, and it's called fractional CO2 laser treatment. This involves using lasers on the skin, and after the procedure, the skin often looks red, raw, and sore. Just take a look at this, but as the skin heals, it tightens and rejuvenates, giving a more youthful appearance. The treatment works by creating tiny wounds on the skin, which triggers the body to produce collagen and elastin, essential for healing and firming the skin. However, since when has anything involving lasers been 100% safe for humans, especially in the beauty industry where people mostly go beyond their limits? There's a risk of overdoing it. This is why we've seen cases of people ending up with deformed faces from excessive cosmetic procedures. What are your thoughts on this treatment? Is it worth the risk? While you try to determine the authenticity of that video, take a look at this particular one that was recorded by an individual looking into an abandoned home. Did you catch that? Not normal, right? First off, you don't expect to see anything when you look into an abandoned property. Secondly, should you see anything or anyone, you don't expect them to look like this unless it's a circus or some horror movie, which this is not, right? The individuals who recorded this stated that they started recording because they felt something weird was going on. It took a few seconds of recording to capture what you see on your screen. Some think it's a paranormal entity, whereas others think it's a ghost. What do you also think? I've come across many unsettling clips, but this next footage takes it to a whole new level.
Now, imagine being at a graveyard, and you look over and see a mausoleum, and then after looking for a while, you see something move in that mausoleum. What are you gonna do next? I'm probably gonna end my time short.
A man was visiting a graveyard when he noticed something unusual in one of the mausoleums. Inside, there appeared to be someone lying down, covered by a blanket, as if they were sleeping. What made it eerie, though, was that the person lifted the blanket for a brief moment, revealing a glimpse of movement and then quickly ducked back under it, hiding. It's baffling to think about what this could mean. How did they get inside, and what happened to the remains that were supposed to be there?
Now, imagine being at a graveyard, and you look over and see a mausoleum, and then after looking for a while, you see something move in that mausoleum. What are you gonna do next? I'm probably gonna end my time short.
There are countless reports worldwide of people waking up to find strange grid-like rashes on their skin. These marks look as if they were stamped onto the body, yet the individuals have no memory of how they got there. But the paranormal community might have an explanation. These are often referred to as alien markings. Some people who claim to have been abducted by aliens report returning with similar patterns etched into their skin. What's more unsettling is that many who discover these marks don't even recall the abduction. They simply noticed the mysterious patterns one day. It's believed that aliens might mark their subjects for tracking or other unknown purposes. So if you ever find these grid-like markings on your body, especially alongside unexplained time lapses, you might have been abducted. Sounds crazy, but until we have a more grounded and rational explanation, it is what it is. What you're looking at is a groundbreaking invention. It's a new type of bandage, an electronic bandage to be exact. It was created by scientists from North Carolina University in Korea. This high-tech bandage is water-activated and designed to speed up the healing process. This is how it works. The bandage uses electric fields to stimulate tissue repair, speeding up the healing of chronic wounds by as much as 30%. Chronic wounds, like those caused by diabetes or pressure sores, can take a long time to heal, but this innovation could be a game changer. It's fascinating to see how far medical technology has come, and this could offer hope to millions of patients worldwide. What do you think of this invention? Just in case you're confused, listen to me and don't be. According to the man who recorded this footage, this woman showed up at his home and started making noise like an owl. He thought it was a prank, so he stepped out to look, and this is what he saw. What do you guys think?
What?
This footage was captured by a security guard assigned to watch over a graveyard after locals reported seeing a strange apparition that had been unsettling people in the area. Hoping to get to the bottom of the mystery, he was stationed there to keep an eye on things, and what he caught on camera that first night might explain the apparition the locals were complaining of. In the middle of the night, he noticed a faint light on the grave. He zoomed on in, and he saw a person nearby holding a small red container. The person seemed to be scooping something from the container into their palm, then blowing on it, sending a powdery substance scattering into the air. Just as things could not get more bizarre, the person suddenly jumped into what looked like a freshly dug grave. But here's where things get even stranger. Before the person leapt, a shadowy head seemed to bob up from the ground where he jumped into it. Like he just dug a grave and brought the dead back to life. Perhaps that is why there is an apparition roaming the graveyard. Some are convinced it's staged, but others think it may hint at something darker. What do you think is going on here?
What?
Now we got some very clever birds. One decides that maybe it wants to be fed by someone. The others look at it and go, now that is a good plan. Excellent. What birds are these? Does anybody know what birds are? What birds these are? Like it. Brilliant. They kind of look like crows, or are they magpies? I'm not really up on birds. Can anybody tell us what birds they are? They're smart. That much is true. Bless them. With that, we end today's episode. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, do me a favor. If you got any videos yourselves out there that you think that we should take a look at, please send them to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. And if you're lucky, we'll even mention you. That is, of course, if you want to be mentioned. Okay. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor and share this with everyone you love, everyone you don't. Hell, share it with everyone. And I'll see you in the next one.